Well, hi there. Spike here in the shop again, as always, doing what Spike does. You know this is the Spike Strike prospecting equipment. Today we're making plastic ABS parts. We're going to thermoform. Have the machine here ready to go. Platen here ready for plastic. Mold ready. Vacuum system's pulling a vacuum. You hear some noise every now and then. That's the air compressor coming on, or that's the vacuum pump that's running in the background now. And that's what does the work, is the vacuum. The air compressor helps it off, but the vacuum is what gets it there. I'm going to give you a quick tour before I start here and let you see around. This controller right here in my hand, that controller, what that does is it lowers the plastic onto the mold and then raises it back up to heating position. This valve over here, that's the one that puts 120 pounds of air pressure and lifts it off the mold so I can pull it off. This solenoid valve here controls the vacuum. Is that in the picture? Yeah, there it is. This switch right here turns the vacuum on and off. I throttle my vacuum with this because if I turn it up too much, it jerks holes in the part, so I have to keep it put down some. Read my vacuum back here on this gauge. I don't know if y'all can see it back here in the back or not, but I got a gauge back here in the back that I got a gauge back here in the back I use to read my vacuum with and how much vacuum the system has to pull, so I can make sure I have enough to work with. Sometimes I have to let off some before I start because it's overpowered. Anyway, controls on the oven are up here. I'm running 2 zones, 5,000 watts each, and I put those on and run them. Look at this thing set up back here. Let me get back in the light. Oh, I'm back in the light. You can see the machine. When I get ready to run one, I'll bring it up close and let you see it go. And then after that, I may move up and even move closer and let you see what up closer when it goes. So, I guess the first thing to do is go some plastic. Open her up. Keep the plastic kind of stacked up over here against the wall. I put these in because put the draining side down because I want my part to come out with the draining side down on it. Snap my clamp. Snap my clamp. Turn on the stove oven. Let's get some heat going in this thing. I use a heat gun to tell when it's at the right temperature, but you can just about tell by looking at the plastic by the way it bows. I'll show you that in a minute. This is a class in thermoforming science, okay? We're going to do the whole process right here. It's going to take just a couple minutes and it's going to be done, so hoping we got good light to see what's going on here. It's kind of hard to get light in this shop sometimes. The overhead lights are not very good. So we're working at it. Let's see if we can get the camera up in here and show you kind of what the oven does. That's what's happening up inside the oven there. Two elements, 5,000 watts each, circled around underneath that plastic, spread out to where they'll get the heat to where I want it. So that's what that is. We're going to let this cook for a little while. The video's at 4 minutes 12, but I didn't start it at 4:12. I started it way before that. I started later that way. But what we'll do is we'll watch this plastic and we'll turn you around just a hair that way. Okay. That way you see just a little bit better. Maybe a hair that way. How's that? I don't have much of a tripod, folks. It's what it is. Might notice my back brace I'm wearing here. Pull something in the old lower back. I'd like to see the chiropractor today. Hoping that'll make a difference. Y'all notice I don't have my glasses on? If I'm doing something in the shop that I don't have to see real good, yeah, I can work without them. But if I'm working on something, yeah, I better put the glasses on. Let's see what we're getting out of this thing. 228 on that end. 250 in the middle. 238. Rising on up. 238 on this end. We're going to let this run up. Look, make sure all the heating elements are doing what they're supposed to. Look in every now and then. Make sure nothing's scorching on the top. You got to be careful. There's a fine line between getting the plastic just right and getting it, well, burning it up. Or getting it so hot, not hot enough that it doesn't form good. So there's a lot of options there to go to. You never know what's going to happen. So I'll look around, make sure all my gauges are hooked up and everything's working where it's supposed to. That'd be terrible to pull this and it won't work. I just have to fit. Up to 269 on this end right now. I don't know if y'all can see up under here where this plastic's got this little bow in it, starting to bow down. That's when you can really see when the plastic's starting to work and get where you want it to work, where you can work it out and get it to form and pull. Now I'm going to take that flat piece of plastic and I'm going to form it over this, and I'm going to get it to pull tight, and I'm going to try to get every one of these little indentions and marks and try to get them all marked real close so you can see them. You know, I want them to work. And that's the way we catch gold, is we put nice tight bends in. 289. We're about 10 degrees from pulling this baby down. And we'll be ready to go. Now this used to be a real hard process. I used to do this manually this way, up and down. And carry this thing up and pull it down. But things get easier as time goes by. So we get this knob and we pull this knob and it's going to go down, and then I'm going to hit that switch and it's going to go. And that's what it should do. You ready? Are you ready for this? Here we go. Turn the stove off. Let her sit and cool off a second. Here, let me take you in for a tour. This is what happens when we hit the button on the plastic and the plastic pulls down tight. We get a nice tight finish. That one looks really good, folks. It's tight. I'm really happy with that. That's a pretty piece. Now, this will have to sit on here for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes until it cools down to about 170. And then at 170, I'm going to hit it with air pressure, and then I'm going to try to lift it off the thing with this machine here. That's the plan anyway. We hadn't run this mold since we changed the machine over. You notice this bigger frame out here. I'm running the inside frame for my smaller parts. This bigger frame is for my new series that I got coming out, and a project done for somebody else too. But the new one is going to do a lot bigger pieces of plastic. I'm going to shoot 14 by 21s. I'm probably going to be making sluices 12 to 14 inches wide, probably about 42 inches long by the time I get my cuts. We'll see how that works out. I'm working on that project now, see how far I can stretch it. But and I'm going to make a big one. I'm making it a little deeper, and I'm trying to go for a... we're going for a bigger machine, more along the line of a high banker tile machine. We've got enough concentrators. I got concentrators to concentrate stuff great. My next step is to make a full-fledged, lightweight high banker that you can actually run and work with. Let me see what kind of temperature we got here. We're about 200 right now. Let it drop on down a little bit. I'm going to break that down and set it back to 0. I'm going to turn the vacuum off, so I don't need the vacuum anymore. It's done what it's going to do. Now that it's got to that temperature, it's set. So we'll let the vacuum settle out. We'll let the system work. In a few minutes, you'll hear the air compressor come on when I hit that valve, because I'm going to hit the valve. When I do, I hit with the air pressure, break it loose, and then I turn my valve to bring it up right here. And when I hit this, most likely the air pressure is going to be just raising cane, so you won't be able to hear much going on at that point. Let's see where we're at here. 185. We're getting real close. I can pull a part off there for you in a few seconds. A little bit closer on this end here. 174, 176, 173. It's time to start bringing it off. I'm going to reach over across you here and hit it with some air pressure. Let's see. Let me get you, I think you can see that. You ready for this? Had a little sticking problem there. It was stuck. I had to give it a little nudge in the corner to make her pop loose. But boy, it went when it went. You see it go? It went for a ride once it got going. Anyway, it's cooling off a little bit more right now. I don't let them cool too long up in the rack. I do it just enough to keep my square edges solid. And I don't want it getting unstable. So I like to get them down to, I don't know, 150 degrees or so I know they're going to stay stable. And they cool down real fast. 148. They cool down fast after they come off this mold. And when we bring them up off it, it gets up off there quick. So anyway, after we get that done, we do the other part here. We pull this thing out of here. What we can do. Okay. And this is what comes off this machine. This is the blank. This is a spike strike blank for the bottom tray, and on two of my machines, it also works as a sluice. We can make sluices out of these too. So, like I say, that's the way she turns out when we get done cooking it down and pulling the vacuum. And when we started about 8 minutes ago, we had one of these. And I'd like to mostly thank the guys on the Thermoforming forums and YouTube and all the other places I learned, because Lord knows I picked up a lot about these things real quick from places. Yeah. I don't know what I'd have done back in the day. They didn't make encyclopedias to tell me about this. Because our internet when we were kids was Encyclopedia Britannica, or whichever one Mom and Dad got talked into buying. You know how that goes. So, anyway, I got another one cooking up here. I'll let it go to work. Let y'all alone. I'm gonna get busy and try to make a few more tonight. But I just wanted to let you see how one come out. We'll tell you what we'll do. I'm gonna hang in here, let this one run. Maybe it'll come off a little easier and smoother, and we'll get a little better job on it. And let's see how it works out. The machine's warmed up now. It's gonna work faster. We get a little heat in everything, and get a little heat in all of it, and it all just seems to mow right along. I just make sure I get enough vacuum in my system. I'm up to about 24 inches of vacuum already, which is plenty. My air compressor's up to 120, so it's ready to go. All I basically got to do is get the next piece of plastic hot and ready to drop on this mold. It was stuck a little bit that time. I think I'm going to give it a distance. I have a corner starch on the corners over here. Just to help it a little bit. A couple little nails sticking up. what you just witnessed is what I need to check every time now when I do one of these. But when I take this thing, put it on the machine, that's my epoxy mold. That green is so perfect. All parts come off so fast and easy. They're perfect every time. I don't get any movement. When you're working with wooden molds, you never know what's going to happen as wood heats up. Most people don't do it, but I heat up wood for a living, and I found out that if you heat just a little piece and this big piece at different times, when you're putting this on there, what's going to happen is they're going to swell and move at different places. So that's the reason everything gets upgraded to epoxy. This is the next one going in epoxy here. It's a good one. It's ready to go. It's exactly what I want it to be, so I'm going to run it and do it. See what kind of temp we got. Hey, we're almost there already. We're almost there already. See that center section just a little. What you want to cycling the center section of the heater here a little bit, keeping you scorching down. I see just a tip. I don't want it to happen, so do that. My outside edge is still fine. We're about the part. How about this? Come in close. Come in close. And watch what happens when the vacuum happens. Am I good? Yep, I'm good. Gotta go. Here we go, folks. Part made. Y'all see that? You see that? Man, that nice. Woo. Gotta wait on the cooling time. Once the cooler pops off, time to go make another. I'll go through this, get this many made, stack them on the shelf, make some of the others, stack them on the shelf, go back to making little parts, and then send out yesterday's orders. Oh, I done that earlier today. Okay. Send me some orders. I'll get them out tomorrow for you. Oh, I'm way down here to pick them up. How'd I get to be that short? Oh, okay. Oh, just in case y'all wondered, it's hot in here. Gets that way quick when you're running this thing. Anyway, just remember, if it gets dirty, let it dry and dust it off. Later.